Hey y'all, it's Indigo here. Wanted to make another video on some 3v3 counters for the Grand Arena that's going on right now. First up, we've got the First Order team. You know, if you've watched my previous videos, that I like to use the JTR team. This time I took out R2 and put in Chopper because I don't really have a use for him anywhere else. Figured he'd make a good tank, provide some droid synergy with BB-8, and I wanted to see how that worked because, you know, he can get the taunt and he eats buffs, so figured I'd try him out. It works pretty much like the standard team if you would have had R2 in there. I mean, you don't get the burning for the exposes, but it just works pretty similar, and it saves you R2 to go use elsewhere. So if you have a good chopper and you don't use them in any other squad for this 3v3 matchup, you might consider putting him with Rey and BB-8. He seems to work pretty good there. You can see that it's pretty standard. You play it just like you would normally. Try and use BB-8's special to speed up the Illuminated Destiny. Keep taking away turn meter with Rey's special. You know, using those appropriately as you need to ability block and remove turn meter. Just take them down one by one. Doesn't matter how you do it. Usually I like to get rid of the odd man out, whether it's Executioner, Stormtrooper, whoever, and then have the two Kylos left, and it'll be one of those, you know. But it's not too bad of a battle. Once Illuminated Destiny pops off like it just did there, it's pretty much game, set, match. Even with Chopper, even though he doesn't give as much damage, you know, he does his job. He does a pretty good job, I'd say. And that's it. Next team, moving on. I had, a Zal team that I had to go against. And this is a little bit of an odd counter. I used Director Krennic with Tarkin and then just regular Stormtrooper. So I'd have a tank. I wanted to see how it would play out. You know, it turned out pretty good, I'd say. My opponent went really heavy on defense. I don't expect him to attack at all. It was pretty much what I'd consider a fuck you defense. He looked at my roster and saw that he was way outclassed and just set all his tough stuff on D. But I had fun figuring out what I was going to use to counter his teams. So, Krennic, I have the Zeta on him. Doesn't really matter. His lead helps give some protection back, and I figured I'd give that a shot. I mean, this is just a shot in the dark. I could have used Tarkin lead for extra speed. Doesn't matter. You can see there I knocked off the two sides. Savage, he had a Zeta. And I was going to try to kill him off easily enough, but right there you can see I switched it to auto. My wife actually called me to go do something, so I was hoping I can put on auto and it would take care of itself. It doesn't really work out that way, because once there's only one character, one enemy, Tarkin doesn't use his AoE at all. I don't even think Director Krennic uses his either. So you're not getting that extra damage that you would, or turn meter reduction. You know, so it's not good. The AI just really doesn't handle it well. I wouldn't recommend that, but I didn't have a choice. So you can see I lost my tank. About to lose Krennic here. And it's just back and forth, back and forth. Luckily, I was able to get done with whatever I had to do. Make it back in time. Right there to stop the match. And now I start playing it once I see what's going on. I have the Zeta on Tarkin, so that helps. But all his basics help build up the power of his AoE. And that's all it takes. Use his AoE, boom, KO. Wasn't pretty, but I won that battle. This one, he set a Bastila team on defense. I really wasn't expecting that because of, you know, the teams that I had in my roster. You would think someone that was trying to win would have saved that. But he didn't, so I had to end up fighting that. And I wanted to try this out. I used EP lead. I figured he would probably die, but I wanted the leader ability. And of course, Thrawn really helps. And then Sith Marauder. If y'all don't have him, I'd recommend getting him and gearing him up. I mean, he's really key to go against Bastila because his special move gives potency up to the whole team. And that, coupled with EP's lead, that also gives potency, will help you to land the debuffs. He's a really solid character, and he can heal back. So you can see here, Thrawn and him just trade back and forth. He gives protection and turn meter to Marauder, and then, you know, Thrawn gives him self-protection back with it. Keep using Fracture to take him out just one by one. Once Yoda goes out, you know, that's the heaviest damage dealer. Then it's like, keep one of them stunned or out of commission somehow and go to work on the other one. So I use Fracture right there on Bastila to take her out of the picture while I put in some work on GK. But, you know, you get your turns back so fast, so Fracture just kind of wears off. But watch here, you'll see... wait for Thrawn to do it. Fractured GK. There it is. You see his stun landed. Even though they had the extra tenacity with the Sith Marauder and with the extra potency from EP lead, you can get debuffs to land. And that stun was really nice. You know, because you typically don't land a ton of debuffs on a Bastila lead team. So, it worked out. With these two, there was no chance these two were going to lose. Now it's down to just Bastila. Trade protection back and forth. And that's all you do, just fracture and stun and trade protection and turn meter back and forth. And Marauder gains, I don't have his ability in front of me, but he'll gain turn meter like crazy sometimes. So it's a really good duo to use, especially under the EP lead ability, where they gain even more turn meter. So hopefully you guys are going to work on him. He's pretty good. Next team, we're going to move on to Rex, Wampa, and then Zaalbar. In a 3v3, I don't have room to put Zaalbar with, like, Kira and that. So, got him with a Rex Wampa team just because he makes a decent tank. And the constant counterattacks are nice. And he puts up dots, which Wampa loves that, so... He just takes a bit of punishment. Again, it's EP lead again with Vader and then Tarkin. And he had a decent squad. He didn't have the Zeta on Tarkin, but I mean his squad wasn't too bad. But this squad, I mean, Rex lead is made for that. So if you have Rex and Wampa, Rex and Wampa handle a lot of different scenarios. Zaalbar's just in there, like I said, for a tank. He's pretty stout, and he puts up the dots, which helps fuel Wampa. So he's really good to have as a third if you're looking for a third for 3v3. And that's all she wrote. We'll see you guys in the next round. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed my video, please give me a like and subscribe.